Places I would like to travel. Hi, how are you? So it's December 28th, 2025. Next year is 2029. No, 2026. Okay, and we're starting off well. I'm thinking of all the things that I want to do next year, and I would like to eat healthier. That would be great. Do some working out, and I would also like to finally watch Game of Thrones. I think I've seen. See, I started at the back end, and I saw the last episodes of Game of Thrones first with all my friends because it was the big episodes, and I have to go back and watch all the rest of them. So that's on my to-do list. And also, for 2026, I'd like to build a model of a futuristic city out of egg cartons. But I would also like to do something I haven't done in a while, which is travel. So today I'd like to talk about some of the places I would like to travel to. And in so talking about it, maybe you'll be inspired. I'm hoping you'll be inspired to give me ideas of places that I could go, places you would like to see when you travel next year. And I would love some ideas of where I could go. So this is what I have so far. There are a bunch of places in America and the world, and I want to go through the American stuff. Places first. So I've lived in San Francisco for 12 years, so I've already seen the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and the Bay Area and the wine country and all that. So I've covered that. And there are several places in America that I've seen. California, New York, Seattle, Orlando, Florida. I saw Mount Rushmore, Las Vegas. I've seen Maui. I've seen Alaska. So I've been to some places. And there are places that I would love to revisit. I would love to go back to New York. I haven't been there since 1991. And it has changed a lot, I'm sure. And I would love to see those changes. One of the things that I'm doing now just for fun is I think EarthCam on YouTube. You can watch Times Square live on YouTube at all hours of the day or night. And so it's been fun right now in December to watch them start to get ready for New Year's Eve. And they're starting to set it. You can see them live setting up the stages and stuff for the Times Square event. And so I just, every night I just kind of check in on Times Square, and I visit New York through the live cam on the YouTube. So that's fun. But I'd love to go back in New York and see how I'm sure it's changed a lot, and I would love to see the changes. And I would also like to go to Las Vegas again. I haven't been there since 1998. No, maybe a little sooner than that. But I haven't seen the Sphere, and I would love to see the Sphere in Las Vegas. And if you've seen the Sphere, I would love to hear your reaction to it. Is it cool? Is it worth going to? Should I see the Sphere? Anyway, but there are places in America that I've never been to. I've never been to Yosemite. I've never been to Yellowstone. I've never seen the Grand Canyon. I can't believe I've gone this long and I haven't seen the Grand Canyon. I would love to go to the Grand Canyon. I don't know, is there an airport at the Grand Canyon? Or do I have to rent a car and go to the Grand Canyon? Or should I just road trip it from Oregon down to the Grand Canyon? What do you think I should do? Utah, I hear, is pretty cool. They've got some stone arches that I'd love to see. Arches National Park, I guess, is what it's called. And I have lots of notes here, so I just kind of go through the notes. I would love to see Red Rocks in Colorado. I remember watching this U2 concert at Red Rocks back when U2 was just starting out. And it was like this make or break concert for them. And the rain was coming down, and it looked like the concert was going to get rained out, and then the rain stopped, and they came on stage and they did this amazing concert, and it worked out great for them. And I guess it was filmed, and it made them even more popular, and it really helped their band. And so I would just love to see Red Rocks. I hear it's a great place for concerts. And if you've seen Red Rocks, I'd love to hear about your experience. But yeah, I haven't seen Colorado at all. I'd love to see Colorado. New Orleans, I've never been to New Orleans. I would love to go there for Mardi Gras. That would be cool. San Diego, I've never been to San Diego. Should I wait until Comic-Con and go down to San Diego? I think that's where it is, right? Or should I, I know there's a street in San Diego that's got lots of bars, lots of entertainment, and what street is that? Should I go? Is it worth going to San Diego and go to that cool street? Or what else should I see in San Diego? Because I know nothing about San Diego and I'd love to see it. There's lots of places in Oregon here that I still haven't seen. I have not been to Crater Lake. I have not seen the southern coast of Oregon. I've seen Seaside and Astoria and Newport, but I haven't been down to the southern part of the beaches of Oregon. And I would love to go to Bend because they have the last Blockbuster video store there in Bend. And I would love to go there because I miss Blockbuster videos so much. I know I would just have a total retro experience walking into Blockbuster. It would be very cathartic and very emotional, I think, to walk into Blockbuster. And so I would love to take the trip to Bend. So what I should do is I should go on a road trip and I should go through Bend, see the Blockbuster, and then go down to Utah and the Grand Canyon. That's my road trip. I'd also like to go to the Big Arch in St. Louis, Missouri. I've never seen the Big Arch. I don't know anything about it. Is there an elevator that goes up into the arch? Can you see it? It's got a cool view. Is it worth going to see the arch? Because it looks, I mean, the pictures I've seen is like, they built an arch? That's huge. That's amazing. How did they do that? There are caves in Kentucky. I read about this somewhere, that there are more caves underground in the Kentucky area than anywhere else on the planet. There's 52,000 acres of underground caves in Kentucky. It's called the Mammoth Cave National Park. And I probably wouldn't venture too far into the caves. It's going to be all scary and stuff. But I'd venture in a little bit. So, but it'd be just very cool. I want to see what's there. The Big Island of Hawaii, I haven't seen. I've been to Maui, which was really cool. I haven't been to back to the Hawaii Islands. I've never been to the Big Island. And I guess that's where the observatory is, and I don't know if it's open to the public, but I guess the observatory there is on Mauna Kea, if I'm pronouncing that probably wrong, sorry. But Mauna Kea, I guess, is the tallest mountain on the planet, even taller than Mount Everest. And I guess because they measure it from the base that is underwater all the way to the top, and I guess it's taller than Mount Everest. Is my information correct on that? I don't know. I've never seen the Great Lakes. I've never seen the Mississippi River. I would love to see all of those. As far as road trips go, yeah, I would love to take a road trip from Oregon down to the Grand Canyon and the whole Southwest area. I could go through Vegas, see the Sphere, and then keep on going. I would also love to see, my plan is to take a road trip to Chicago and then get a car and drive because I haven't seen the Midwest. I would love to drive to Cincinnati and Indianapolis and go down to Nashville, Tennessee. I would love to see Nashville, Tennessee. I have never been there. I hear it's fantastic. And I would love to go to Nashville and experience that fun. I should probably block out like 3 or 4 days. See the Grand Ole Opry, see the main street with all the cool bars on it, and music clubs, and just kind of tour around in Nashville. Then get in the car and go to Memphis and see Graceland. And then where else should I go in the Midwest? But I would love to take, because the thing about the Midwest is, out here in Oregon, you know, if I want to drive from one major city to another, it's a long time. You know, 4 hours to Seattle, 11 hours from Portland to San Francisco, 8 hours from San Francisco to Los Angeles. But in the Midwest, I guess, if you're driving from maybe, I don't know, Cincinnati or Indianapolis to Nashville, it's only like 2 hours. Or Nashville to Memphis is only like 2 hours. So that just seems like, oh, that'd be great. You can just get around to all these cool different cities really fast. And then my heating ducts come on, so I'm going to turn those off for a second. Okay, I'm back. Hi, how are you? So the heating ducts came on, and I don't know if it causes noise, or maybe you didn't hear it, but I did. And so anyway, better safe than sorry. So anyway, I was talking about doing a road trip around the Midwest. And here's the thing. I am not a travel person. I could stay home all day and be just fine. And traveling, I enjoy, you know, people say that, oh, the fun is in the journey, not the destination. Well, I'm kind of a destination person. I like to get there as easily as possible. And traveling on a plane or a car or a train, it's just, I'd rather just get there. So I'm really looking forward to portals and transporter devices that just beam us to different parts of the world. I'm really looking forward to that part in the future because it just cut out the whole travel part. But in order to make travel fun, I would like to go on a mission, like have a goal, have an adventure. So it's not just a trip where you go and, oh, I'm going to see this cool place and take a picture of it. I'm going to go on a mission. So the missions might be, I'm going to try every barbecue restaurant that's really great in the whole United States. So I just travel all around the United States trying out the best barbecue places that I've read about online. Or I go to all the best comedy clubs around America. So it's a mission. I'm going to go to all these places, you know, or I'm going to go and I'm going to collect something from each place. Or I'm going to take a picture of myself, you know, I don't know. I'm going to take a picture of myself in a superhero costume in each of these famous tourist attractions, you know. I don't know, just to have a collection of something. Some kind of goal would make it fun for me. So it's not just travel, it's a mission. Because I'm a kind of person who, I really like to get things done. I'm not kind of, oh, whatever. I really am I like to accomplish things. And so that would be really fun, is to have some kind of mission to go on when I travel. So one of the other things, I could travel around the United States or the world looking at film locations. Places they have filmed, like in Oregon, they filmed Goonies in Astoria. And I'd like to visit the Field of Dreams baseball field. And where is it? Dryersville, Iowa? That would be cool. I mean, it's still there. I've read it's still there, and you can go there and see it, and that would just be amazing. Devil's Tower in Wyoming. Spielberg made Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and so I've watched that a million times just because I love the way it's filmed. He films Close Encounters so well. The cinematography he does on that, and just the way he blocks all the action. Anyway, I won't go off on a nerd rant about Spielberg, but I'd like to see Devil's Tower because that would be cool, because that's one of my favorite movies. New York. There's a whole bunch of film locations in New York I'd like to see. I'd like to see the firehouse where Ghostbusters was filmed. I'd like to see the deli restaurant in When Harry Met Sally, that famous deli scene. I'd like to go to McGee's Bar, and that, I guess, is the bar that inspired the bar in How I Met Your Mother, the TV show. I guess they used to go to McGee's, but the way McGee's, I don't know, they had to create a different set for the TV show, but I guess McGee's is what inspired that. Niagara Falls from Superman 2, I'd love to see that. The airplane graveyard in Tucson, Arizona, or Scottsdale, Arizona, somewhere around there. I would love to see that again. The first plane trip I ever took was 1985. We went down to Phoenix, Arizona. And we went all around the area there, and we went to the airplane graveyard. We didn't go in it, but we were able to see it over the fence and all these planes. And that's from the movie Can't Buy Me Love, which I think came out in 88, 87. But I'd love to see the airplane graveyard. And then Seaside, Florida, I guess, is where they filmed some of the scenes for The Truman Show. That would be cool to see. Or another mission I could go on to see all the really cool and silly museums that are all around. And so there's the National Baseball Hall of Fame, which would be really cool. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. And there's a whole bunch of strange, silly places I'd love to visit. The Superhero Museum in Elkhart, Indiana. The Pez Dispenser Candy Museum in Burlingame, California. The Mustard Museum in Middleton, Wisconsin. The Wizard of Oz Museum in Wamego, Kansas. The Dr. Pepper Museum, that's in Waco, Texas. And I recently learned that Dr. Pepper, there's no period after the word doctor. They had to leave that out for some reason. And there's some kind of history about that I thought about. So anyway, Dr. Pepper Museum. Tour the original 1960s Star Trek set of the bridge of the Enterprise. And I guess that's in Ticonderoga, New York. I'm so sorry. The Spam Museum in Austin, Minnesota. The Neon Museum in Las Vegas. The Unclaimed Baggage Center in Scottsboro, Alabama. I've heard about this. The unclaimed baggage. So like when airplanes, they got this baggage and no one claimed it. All that stuff goes to the Unclaimed Baggage Center in Alabama. And I would love to visit that. At least that's what I've heard. I think that's what it is. And you can just go there and shop. And I'd love to do that. The world's largest maze is in, I'm going to mispronounce this, Wahiawa, Hawaii. The musical highway in New Mexico. I would love to experience that. The car Stonehenge, the Carhenge. I've heard about this. So it's the Stonehenge, but it's made out of cars sticking out. And I'd love to see that. The Rubber Chicken Museum in Seattle. I think it exists. I think there's a Rubber Chicken Museum in Seattle. That's not too far away. I would love to go. And here, just outside of town, just outside of Portland here, in Boring, Oregon, which is a real town, they have the Bigfoot Museum. And I still haven't gone there. I've been outside it, I've driven past it, but I have not gone inside the Bigfoot Museum. And I would love to go visit the Bigfoot Museum. I think that'd be fun. And I also had this silly thought of what if Bigfoot walked into the Bigfoot Museum? What would Bigfoot think? If he walked into the Bigfoot Museum and was like, why is there a museum made of me? I don't understand. What's going on? Anyway, I won't bore you with that silly thought, but I had this silly thought. What if Bigfoot walked into the Bigfoot Museum? Anyway, it might be fun to go on a mission to go to a bunch of towns that have suggestive names. So towns like Climax, Michigan, Intercourse, Pennsylvania, and Ballplay, Alabama, and have my picture taken right next to the city sign, standing by the sign that says Ballplay, Alabama. That'd be fun because there's a bunch of them all over that I would love to visit. So anyway, that's some of the missions that I would love to go on. Barbecue, definitely. And then the silly museums and the film locations. And so, yeah, I would love to go on a mission. So I don't want to just sightsee. I want to make it a mission where I'm accomplishing these things that I can cross off, you know? Places around the world. Okay, we're done with America. Let's go around the world. Now, there are some places that I've been that I would love to see again. 1998, I went to Venice, Italy. I would love to see Venice again. Venice is fantastic. Now, when I saw it, it was in December, so it was very rainy. And I also went to Greece, Athens, Greece, and the islands off of Santorini, you know, the islands off of Greece. I saw those in December, and it was very rainy, and there weren't very tourists. That was the plus side, is there was plenty of availability, and there wasn't many people around, so you could get around really easy. But unfortunately, it was, you know, raining, and I would love to see it in the summertime or spring when it's all beautiful and sunny, and I would love to see that. So Venice, I would love to see Santorini again. And Stonehenge, I would love to see Stonehenge again. I would love to see Rome again. That would be really cool. I was watching Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief, and it was filmed in the French Riviera. And man, whenever I watch that movie, it's just like I totally want to go there, because he filmed in the French Riviera in Nice and Cannes and all these places in Monaco, and Cary Grant and Grace Kelly, and they just drive around to these beautiful locations. And I've never been to the French Riviera, but it just looks like an amazing vacation. I could probably just do an entire trip just to the French Riviera. That'd be really cool. I'd also love to see the pyramids, the ancient pyramids of Egypt. I've never seen those. It would be great to see those in person. I would love to go to Japan. I have never been to Japan. And the people I've talked to who've been to Japan say it's just amazing experience. And so I would love to go to Japan and see that. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade at the end, you know, when they go and they get the Holy Grail. They are at Petra in Jordan, and the rock wall with the carving out of the rock wall of this monument, it just looks stunning. And I would love to see that. And I don't know the best time of day, because I'm sure if you get a certain time of day, like there's that place in Utah or Arizona where the sun comes down through the crevice or in the valley there, and it just lights up the whole thing. I think that's like the way it is in Petra in Jordan, where the light comes in and just hits it just perfect, and it just lights it all up, and I would love to see it. I would also love to see, another mission I could go on is I'd love to travel around the world and go to the certain festivals, the annual festivals they have every year. Like in Albuquerque, New Mexico, they have a hot air balloon festival every year. And New Orleans has the Mardi Gras. And in Bunol, Spain, they have the Tomato Fight Festival, where they just bring in truckloads of tomatoes and everybody fights with tomatoes in the street every year. And then there's the running of the bulls in Pamplona. And I would love to just go to all these festivals, just like, okay, every month. I bet every month there's a new festival somewhere in the world. And I would love to go to those. I've never seen Spain. I would love to see Spain. I would love to see Barcelona. That would be great. I've never been to Australia. I've seen Mission Impossible 2, but I've never seen Australia, and I would love to go to Australia. And I'd love to see New Zealand, where they filmed Lord of the Rings. That would be really cool. I mean, it just looks like a beautiful country. Here's the thing. I like cities. I like towns. If you get me out in the open country, it's really got to be spectacular. Otherwise, I get bored really quick. You know, the country's really cool. Yeah, the mountains are great, but what are we going to do? So I would love to, go to these places that's with breathtaking views and get some great pictures and, experience the nature, and then get right back into a city. So that's me. I'm such a city person that, I can't spend much time in nature. You want to go for a hike? A hike like in nature? What are we going to do? You're just going to walk in nature? You want to go camping? Oh my God, there's no way I could go camping. Oh my God, I'm so bored. What camping? What do we do? Well, we could set up a tent and then, you just sit by the river and do nothing. And that would drive me absolutely crazy. I constantly need to be doing things. I want to see things. I want to do things. To just hang around a campsite would drive me bonkers. I could never do that. So, Victoria, Canada, I've been to, but I have not been to most of Canada. I would love to experience Canada. Toronto, I have never been to. I hear it's amazing. I would love to go there. Whenever I see pictures of Iceland, it looks very cool. I would love to go to Iceland. South Africa, I would love to go to South Africa. One of my favorite movies is Casablanca. I would love to go to Casablanca. And I should probably watch episodes of The Amazing Race, and then I could see all these, because they go around the world. And I would love to see all these really cool places, and that might inspire me to think of places to go. But I also would love ideas from you. So I've mentioned a whole bunch of places. I'm sure you have traveled some places and been around some places, and wherever you're at, you probably know the best restaurants to go to and whatnot, or best hotels to stay in. I would love to know what you think. Where should I go? Where should I travel to in 2006? I want to go somewhere, and I'm not sure if I'm going to take a train or a plane or a road trip, but I would love to know where you think I should go. Someplace that you've been, that you've experienced, or someplace that just looks really cool that you think I'd like. I would love to get your opinion on that. So anyway, thanks for listening. Those are all the places I think I would love to travel in 2006 or in sometime in the future. And I would love to hear ideas. And I hope you have a really fantastic 2006. I have a great feeling about this year. I think it's going to be really great. And I hope all your dreams come true, and it's a really happy year for you. And so anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. And I will see you next week in 2026. We're going into the future. It's going to be great. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, and have a great week and have a great year. All right. See ya. Bye. Cheers. I should have some special outro phrase, but I don't. So I'll just say, cheers.